Up first today, Georgia corn growers are still weeks away from beginning the 2012 harvest season. This year, the crop has been through extremely dry weather, stormy, wet weather, and an issue with chemicals. The Monitor's Mark Wildman visited one Brooks County farmer who is ready for the harvest to begin.
In Brooks County, Randy Dowdy checks over his 2012 corn crop. The crop is still 6 to 8 weeks away from harvest, but it is already towering over him and is getting close to covering the pivot. Last year was a banner year for this farmer. His crop produced some award-winning yields.
Last year, my highest yielding conventional irrigated corn was a Pioneer Hybrid 1814, and it produced 352 bushels per acre. About 2 weeks later, we finished up harvest and was able to get into some corn that another Pioneer Hybrid that was Pioneer 2023, and it went 364 bushels to the acre. And that 352 in the irrigated class, I was able to fortunately place second in the nation, the highest yield.
But the crop this year has had its share of challenges. From the get-go, the climate was different than normal, causing some chemical applications to act differently.
I sprayed some herbicide that had some unintended consequences this year, and it caused some excessive yellowing and stunning of the plant.
This picture really tells the story. The corn on the left was sprayed, and the corn on the right was not.
Quite often you get herbicide injury naturally, just simply because the plant has to metabolize that herbicide, and so you can quite often have a yellow flash or have some problems with the plant metabolizing it and causing some stress on the plant. But the plants are not coming out of the stunt at the same time. So what that almost mimics is almost like you plant and you don't have uniform emergence. And when you don't have uniform emergence, you have plants at different maturities. Well, those plants naturally are different plant heights. Well, when you have different plant heights, then photosynthesis does not occur at the same rate, and neither does maturity.
Still, the crop looks promising, and with the ears growing well, Randy is keeping up his routine of managing his crop.
My mentality is that we quite often could do as much with less risk if we would take and maximize those irrigated acres, maximize our production on every acre.
On the day I visited Randy's farm, his crop got 2 inches of rain over the past 2 days, which is not all bad. But along with the rain, wind damage did occur.
It starts breaking some of the fodder because the wind kind of gets a swirl in it, and it starts breaking this fodder. And what's going to happen is this leaf now will not have the amount of potential that the rest of these leaves serve, and that's the factory for photosynthetics to be produced and to provide energy for the plant.
UGA corn expert Dewey Lee travels the state looking at fields and conducting research to help Georgia growers. He believes Georgia growers are pushing the limits on yield potential and are constantly bettering their fields.
Randy Dowdy and growers like Randy really are true students of the crop. They study it. They understand what it takes to grow and the timeliness of inputs. Randy once said to me, he said, "Dude, to me, when I've looked across the country, he said the difference between a good grower and a great grower is just 2 days. You know, it just happens to be timeliness." And I agree with that. And Randy is somebody who, like a lot of other growers in our state, and they pay attention to the crop and what it needs, and they supply it, and the crop responds.
That's the #1 goal, is to, obviously at least try to reach the yields that I had with the conditions given to me, and do everything I know that I did, and the rest is in the good Lord's hands. We'll see.
For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Mark Wildman.